Oliver stood in the diplomatic chamber of the Terran embassy, his heart pounding against his rib cage like a prisoner demanding freedom. The artificial gravity hummed beneath his feet, and the sterile white walls seemed to close in around him. He'd signed the papers 3 months ago, agreeing to the interspecies cultural exchange program. It had seemed like an adventure then, a chance to bridge the gap between humanity and the newly discovered Valorian Empire. Now, as he waited to meet his assigned partner, doubt gnawed at his resolve. Mr. Chun, Ambassador Whitmore's voice cut through his thoughts. She's arriving now. The chamber doors hissed open, and Oliver's breath caught in his throat. She was magnificent. Eva entered with a grace that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting between shades of deep violet and silver as she moved. Her eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangular pattern on her face, glowed with an inner luminescence that spoke of ancient wisdom. Crystalline structures grew from her shoulders like living jewelry, refracting light into dancing rainbows across the walls. She wore robes that seemed woven from starlight itself, and atop her elongated head sat a crown of living metal that pulsed with her heartbeat. Oliver's mouth went dry. This wasn't just any Valorian. The crown, the bearing, the entourage of guards that flanked her, had studied enough about Valorian culture to recognize what he was seeing. "Ambassador," Oliver whispered urgently. "That's Queen Eva Thelzara of the 7th Spiral," Whitmore confirmed, a bead of sweat trailing down his temple. "Yes, we were just informing ourselves." Oliver's mind reeled. A queen? They'd matched him with a queen? He was a xenobiologist from Seattle, someone who'd grown up fixing hoverbikes in his father's garage. What was he supposed to do with a queen? Eva approached with measured steps, her 3 eyes studying him with an intensity that made him feel simultaneously exposed and seen. When she spoke, her voice resonated like a chorus of bells. "Oliver Chun of Earth," she said, the translator implant rendering her melodious language into English. "I am told you have agreed to this bond." "Yes, Your Majesty," Oliver stammered, attempting an awkward bow. "But there's clearly been some mistake. I'm nobody." "Why would a queen? Do you believe status determines worth?" Eva interrupted, tilting her head in a gesture he couldn't quite interpret. How very limiting. One of her guards stepped forward, hand moving toward his plasma weapon. Eva raised a crystalline appendage, stopping him instantly. "My people measure value differently than you might expect, Oliver Chun," she continued, moving closer. "When the matching algorithm analyzed our psychological profiles, cultural values, and genetic compatibility, it determined we were a 98.7% match, the highest compatibility rating ever recorded between our species." Oliver blinked. "But you're a queen. You rule millions. I study alien microorganisms, and I find that endlessly fascinating." A smile played across her alien features. He was learning to read her expressions now. "Do you know why I volunteered for this program, Oliver? Because my people have forgotten how to wonder. We've conquered star systems, bent space-time to our will, and built cities that float in dimensional pockets. But somewhere along the way, we lost our curiosity about the small things, the microscopic, the growing things." She gestured, and a holographic display materialized between them. Images of Valorian architecture, technology, an art cycled pastel grand, all imposing, all lacking something Oliver couldn't quite name. "Your species," Eva continued, "finds wonder in a single flower pushing through concrete. You marvel at bacteria that can survive in volcanic vents. You cry at the birth of a star you'll never visit. This capacity for awe, despite your relative youth as a spacefaring civilization, is what drew me to your people." "What drew me to you specifically?" Oliver felt his fear slowly transforming into something else. Curiosity, perhaps. You read my research papers? Every single one? Her middle eye brightened excitement. He realized. Your work on extremophile adaptation patterns was revolutionary. You see patterns where others see chaos. You find beauty in what others dismiss as insignificant. I never thought anyone outside my department actually read those, Oliver admitted, a smile tugging at his lips despite his shock. I have ruled for 73 of your years, Eva said, her voice softening. I have made decisions that affected billions. I have negotiated treaties, commanded fleets, and reshaped planetary economies. But I have never been allowed to simply learn, to explore, to discover. She paused, her crystalline structures dimming slightly. When I saw this program, I saw a chance to be more than a crown. And when I saw your profile, I saw someone who might understand that yearning. Oliver looked at her, really looked at her. Beyond the crown, beyond the alien features that had initially shocked him, he saw something achingly familiar. Loneliness, the isolation of expertise, the hunger for genuine connection. So this marriage, he said slowly, it's not about politics? It is entirely about politics, Eva corrected, but her tone was gentle. Everything I do has political ramifications. But it is also about two beings, from vastly different worlds, finding common ground in their differences. Is that not the point of all relationships? Oliver laughed, surprising himself. Your Majesty, I think that might be the most human thing anyone's ever said to me. Please, she said, extending one of her four-fingered hands, call me Eva. If we are to be bonded, I would prefer we start as equals. He took her hand. Her skin was cool, slightly textured like fine scales, and her grip was firm. Eva, he repeated, and you should know, I have no idea how to be married to a queen. Her laughter was like crystal wind chimes. And I have no idea how to be married to a human. Perhaps we can figure it out together. Ambassador Whitmore cleared his throat. Your Majesty, Mr. Chun, the ceremony is scheduled to begin in 1 hour. Ava's eyes never left Oliver's face. Will you stand beside me, Oliver Chun? Not as a subject to his queen, but as a partner to his equal. Oliver thought of all the reasons he should refuse. The impossibility of the situation, the scrutiny they'd face, the cultural chasms they'd need to bridge. But he also thought of her words about wonder, about finding beauty in the overlooked, about two lonely souls reaching across the stars. He squeezed her hand. Let's go shock the galaxy together.